Good morning, you fine, fabulous book people. It is Well Red Beard. It's a damn fine day to talk about a book. It's always a damn fine day to talk about a book. And it's Friday. It's beautiful here. It's sunny. I'm stuck inside of the desk, but we're going to talk about a book. And today we're going to talk about a horror collection of short stories called Graveside, called A Graveside Gallery by Eric Guignard. Big fan of Guignard's work. It's my third read of his, to be honest with you. This was sent to me for review, which I don't take a lot of books for review anymore. I mean, I review a lot of books, but I don't take. You get what I'm saying. So, but because it was Eric, and because I've read two of his other books that I really liked, That Which Grows Wild, another collection, and Last Case at the Baggage Auction. I took this one. So, That Which Grows Wild was also a short story collection. Man, this collection stuck with me, and this one is really good. I gave them both 4 stars. I gave this one 4 stars. I gave this one 4 stars, but this one stuck with me. I'm very, very hesitant to say that I like this one more than this one because I really like this one. But I don't know. I mean, that's not saying there's anything wrong with the new one. It just stood out, and this was a novella, a very, very cool novella. So, but we are here to talk about a Graveside Gallery. Now, you know, a lot of short story collections do this. I feel that there is a need, a desire, an effort put in to cover a lot of ground, to cover a plethora of horror themes, to have every story be a different horror trope than the last. But Guignard seems to kind of take that up a level, to kind of really just take you someplace new in every single story. I mean, there are classic horror themes here of werewolves during the Civil War, though. There's a retelling of the ending of Frankenstein, a retelling of the lore around King Arthur and the Sword and the Stone. There is an animal story, a la Secret of Nim slash Watership Down. There's all this difference. There's some absurdity stuff. There's an absurd story about a rodeo clown that turns into a werebull. So there's just a lot of stuff in this book, and none of those were my favorite stories. We open with the story called Penny's Diner. Sorry, I got a few notes here. About a truck driver that kills someone, that is responsible for someone's death by suicide, death by truck. Someone runs out in front of him. He has to go through all the business of the crime report or whatever, gets a rental car and is actually driving home from this situation, and then horror ensues at this vintage roadside diner. There's one called A Kingdom of Sugar Skulls and Marigolds that is a Mexican folkloric horror piece about like this god of death, and all the things of invoking, communing with our dead friends, our dead relatives. But if you go through that ritual and write someone's name on a sugar skull to invoke them, please make sure you're not so drunk on mezcal that you write the wrong name on there. There's a story, and I don't have the title written down, but it's something about carmine lips and like a slip into oblivion or something. It's about the end of the world. It's about a little bit of love, a little bit of peace, a little bit of kiss of the carmine lips at the end of the world. I dug that one too. But again, none of those were my favorite stories. My favorite stories, and I'm going to try to go in order, even though I didn't put them in order. But The Ascending Lights of Yulan. It is a seafaring pirate-ish story. Our main character wins some money at a game of chance in a bar, and he's looking for a place to stay, and follows this guy into kind of like this story's version of Chinatown, like an Asian population center, and he observes how they commune with their dead, and the ritual that takes place there, and then it spirals into deceit and murder and theft, and there's just a lot of layers to that story, and I really like that one. There is a story called A Stroke of Death, where an artist paints death scenes, and unbeknownst to him, he's painting actual deaths. Like when he paints something, it happens, and like a local like mob boss gets word of this and proves it to be true, and basically shows up and says, all right, you only paint for us now, like you work for us, and we're going to bring you a picture and you got to paint them, and so and then there's a story called I don't know that I've got the exact story titles here, but whatever. It's called The Fountain of Death or something like that. But it's about two, like this American pickers type guys. They find a hidden town. They're looking for antiques. Everything there has to do with Ponce de Leon and the Fountain of Youth, and there's this exploratory nature to the story, and of course, they wind up out in the wilderness looking for the Fountain of Youth, and we've always heard stories of that, and if you find the Fountain of Youth, then you live forever as young and healthy, and but maybe the Fountain of Youth just translates into you never growing old, and maybe you never growing old just translates into the fact that you never leave this place and that you die. And so it's a cool kind of spin on that, I guess. And then my favorite story, probably, I don't know, these other stories are super thick, detailed stories, but I really keyed in on the story called The Telephone Game. It's a 4-page story about the creepy phone calls you get in the night. I mean, in this one, our main character gets this phone call. She doesn't know who it is initially, but this woman is telling her that her husband has just called her. Her husband's just called her, and but her husband's been dead for like 20 years or something like that. And then that just kind of escalates. I mean, it's a 4-page barn burner of a ghostly, phone call from the other side type story, and really, really dug that one. So, again, 4 stars. I really like this book. This is a Graveside Gallery. Um, and then also, like I said, Eric's work in general, that which grows old, or I'm sorry, that which grows wild. I am what grows old, but that which grows wild. And then again, the last case at the baggage auction. I highly recommend all of these. This is the new one though. Anyway, really appreciate Eric for sending it, and hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you're enjoying all your books, all of them, as much as I am. If not, you're reading the wrong damn books.